Hey, what's up everybody? So this is a new idea I'm throwing at y'all here, and if you couldn't tell, it's loosely based around the Dragon Ball FighterZ game, but with a twist. Instead of game sprites duking it out, we'll be taking a look at figures with multiple versions of the character in FiguartZ form to see just who exactly did it better. Best of all, the winner of each episode is chosen by you. Think of these as sort of comparative reviews with a fun spin on it. So if you guys are on board with this, let's kick the first episode off with a man who needs no introduction other than to simply say he's technically the king of all Saiyans at this point, Vegeta. Alright, so here are our competitors. First up is the OG Super Saiyan Vegeta. Second, the 1.0 Scouter Vegeta. Third, Premium Color Vegeta. Fourth, Arlean Vegeta. Fifth, Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan Vegeta or Super Saiyan Blue. Sixth, Super Saiyan Vegeta 2.0. Seventh, Scouter Vegeta 2.0. And eighth, Majin Vegeta. Are you ready? Let's fight.
Round 1.
So our first category has to do with each figure and your immediate reaction to its likeness to its anime counterpart. Which figure has the least amount of discrepancies between the source material and its physical representation in front of you, making it look like it leapt straight out of your TV screen? With a total of 8 opponents, this episode is probably going to be one of the hardest to pick just one, save one only other character of course being Goku. But remember, even though not all figures represent the same form, we still have to choose one winner. So let's kick things off with likeness. Chronologically, with the OG SDCC Vegeta, this Vegeta was the first of its kind and really the first in the line. With nothing else to build off of, it had a pretty tall task to represent Vegeta and its character well. In my opinion, despite not having it, I believe it did hold its own pretty well. But with the arrival of its cheaper, more available counterpart, PC Vegeta, many years later, I feel it lost a little of its luster. Let me explain. No doubt the SDCC figure was more sought after and sports a likeness to the character, but just looking at these two right off the bat, for me anyway, the PC Vegeta actually pulls more weight in terms of how I remember seeing the character in the anime. And I think it comes down to the tights and armor. The more saturated color just helps the PC Vegeta out that much more. Despite this, I will say I think they're both off to a degree when it comes to the tone of the hair though. They both have their good points, like the shading in the original Vegeta's hair, but the increased sharpness in PC Vegeta's face just make it sync up with the shots from the anime that much more, and its saturated color scheme make me have to give PC Vegeta first place, with the SDCC Super Saiyan Vegeta following in second. Next up, we add 1.0 Scouter Vegeta, as well as its SDCC counterpart Arlean Vegeta. Now in my opinion, these two, particularly the original, really hold their place. Sure, they did come with some issues regarding loose joints and some problems with the Scouter, but hey, we're talking about looks and likeness right now. The original Scouter Vegeta was the first time we got to see a Vegeta figure in base form, and despite its shortcomings in the articulation department and perhaps some minor differences in tones and colors, it really did look like it popped out of the manga or the anime. Recreating poses with this figure was definitely something that ate up free time, as you could pick almost any moment from the Saiyan saga and recreate it with this figure. And of course, the same could be said for Arlean Vegeta. Now being another SDCC exclusive, we of course saw a bit better quality pertaining to the paint apps and articulation. Adding these two to our rankings for this round, I'd say the original base form Vegeta takes the crown, followed by the PC Super Saiyan Vegeta, then Arlean Vegeta, and don't forget we're ranking on likeness to appearance in the anime, from facial features to colors, and since Arlean Vegeta didn't take up that much screen time, I'm not ranking it on par with the original. Then lastly, perhaps shockingly, the original SDCC Super Saiyan Vegeta, and let me clarify, it's a combo of the faded colors and lack of sharpness in the facial expressions that put him here in last. Okay, so here's where things start to get a little bit more interesting. We have the introduction of Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta and Saiyan Saga Vegeta 2.0. Now, starting with Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, I will say that I did think this concept in palette swapping colors was cool, and I did really like Vegeta's new outfit. However, as with many other instances with Dragon Ball Z Figuarts, what we actually got in hand didn't quite link up with the material from Resurrection F. I mean, we were introduced to a slimmer Vegeta and Goku with the introduction of Super Saiyan God, but this was almost a little too skinny in my opinion. Don't get me wrong though, it was great to have a new body mold now, it just didn't seem right from the source material, as much as some of the other Vegeta figures did. I will say though, this Vegeta included some hands not seen with other Vegetas, which gave posing some more options. However, it doesn't really save its place among the greats in my opinion. So with that, I'm placing Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta in 4th place, just above the original Super Saiyan Vegeta. Alright, so now for the 2.0 Saiyan Saga Vegeta, or Scouter Vegeta as some call it. Now, this is interesting because I feel they did a great job with the facial features here. Having the 2.0 brings with it sharper and more direct expressions, but I also feel they botched up in 2 places which still don't make it better than the original. The first being a lack of shading in the saturated color, which could have really worked, and the second being that they use the same hair and body sculpt as 2.0 Super Saiyan Vegeta. I mean, come on. Granted, Vegeta's hair doesn't change drastically from base form to Super Saiyan, there should be some little bits of change. And the bulging shoulders here don't quite fit the art style for the Saiyan Saga. And if you ask me, from a direct view in the front, his forehead just looks really huge. So with that, I'm ranking 2.0 Scouter Vegeta under the original for sure, but still above Arlean Vegeta and the original SDCC Super Saiyan Vegeta at 3rd. Alright, so we're coming up on our last 2 competitors in terms of their overall likeness to the source material and appearances in the anime. We got 2.0 Super Saiyan Vegeta and Majin Vegeta. Now, quite unfortunately, both these figures use the same exact hair sculpt as each other and the 2.0 Scouter Vegeta, which really could have been a dagger for most of the other Vegetas in the line had these 2 figures differed in their body molds in some way, shape, or form, as they do in the anime, and based on art styles and transformations. And I'm just going to cut to the chase here with these 2. I feel that Majin Vegeta is very lackluster and leaves much to be desired. Seeing him feels like I'm looking at a prototype that's unfinished, whereas seeing the 2.0 Super Saiyan Vegeta leaves me pretty satisfied. Save for some shading in the tights, I really like the figure, and it honestly looks like it came out of the Cell Saga. So let's review those rankings. In first, the newly crowned 2.0 Super Saiyan Vegeta. Second, the original Scouter Vegeta. Now in third, I don't know whether to give it to 2.0 Scouter Vegeta or Majin Vegeta, but I'll go with Scouter Vegeta, with Majin Vegeta in 4th. Then followed by PC Vegeta in 5th. Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta in 6th. Arlean Vegeta in 7th, and the original SDCC Super Saiyan Vegeta dead last. What a change, ladies and gents. Get your votes in now, because we're moving on to the next round. Alright, so accessories. Now in this round we have quite a few combatants falling right out of the ring simply because they don't come with any accessories. And these include the original SDCC Super Saiyan Vegeta, PC Vegeta, 2.0 Super Saiyan Vegeta, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, and Majin Vegeta. Let's be real guys, it's really only all the iterations of Scouter Vegeta left. So it comes down to who did it the best here. Now no doubt 2.0 Scouter Vegeta's Scouter was hands down the best, but overall guys, I'm gonna have to give it to the OG here. I mean, he came with all the accessories that the 2.0 did, but also came with the Energy Blast effect parts on top of that. I mean, if the 2.0 did that as well, then it'd definitely be a sure shot. But again, the original did it first, and the 2.0 did not. So in this category, short and sweet knockout, we got the OG Scouter Vegeta taken first, with 2.0 in the second, and I'm going to put Arlean Vegeta in the third, just since we never really saw too many energy blasts from Arlean Vegeta in the first place compared to normal colored Vegeta. Alright, round 3, our final round. So in this category, we're pretty much going off of the coolness factor for each figure, and we're trying to give the crown to the figure that sparks that feeling of awesomeness inside us every time we see or pose the figure. Now this is probably the most opinionated category, so I think it'll be more interesting once we vote collectively to see who the victor is. So let's get into it. So when I think of which of these figures makes me feel like I'm actually owning a piece of the anime, consider this. Which saga do I feel the most nostalgic about? Which figure just represents more weight when it comes to the Dragon Ball culture? Oddly enough, for myself, I think this one is Majin Vegeta taking first place here. Now remember, this isn't exactly basing it off what the figure itself is lacking, because I know there's going to be those people who still don't get what this round is about. But for me, Majin Vegeta represents again one of the coolest moments in Z. The fight between Vegeta and Goku that had some of the best animation and choreography at the time. And owning this figure just really feels right. So for myself, the runners-up are as follows. In second, I have Super Saiyan Vegeta 2.0, followed by the 1.0 Scouter Vegeta, and lastly, I have Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Of all the Vegeta figures in the line, these other three here are my favorite to pose around, and again, really strike up that coolness factor with me, and make me think that my display looks a little bit cooler when I see it. Now for the fun part of this last round though, again, which figure do you have winning this round for you? I'm expecting a ton of variety of different responses here, which is why we have this next part. So just a quick recap on our combatants and our 3 rounds here. In round 1, we looked at the figure's absolute likeness to their anime characters, with the 2.0 Super Saiyan Vegeta taking first place. In round 2, with accessories, we have 1.0 Scouter Vegeta taking first place. And finally, in round 3, we have Majin Vegeta taking first place for a nostalgia and coolness factor. But guys, ultimately it's up to you, the subscribers, for who truly comes out on top. Remember, we can only have one winner here. So we've got our 3 polls throughout each round. Make sure you vote if you haven't done so already. And now perhaps the biggest poll out of all of them: if you could only ever choose one of these figures as a winner, who takes the crown? Make sure to vote, guys, and stay tuned for the results, which will be revealed in an upcoming video. I hope you guys liked episode 1 of this series. I'm looking forward to doing more of them. They're pretty time consuming, but I mean, if we get a good response from you guys, then I'll keep doing them. Don't forget to hit me up on Instagram if you haven't already, @BrownSpidey, and if you're feeling generous and want to support the channel further, be sure to check out my Patreon, link below. When we reach our initial goal of 500 bucks on Patreon, I'ma start doing some giveaways. That's right, giveaways, but not until then. Alright guys, that's all for this one. You know what I always say: may the best of your todays be the worst of your tomorrows. Peace.